laying it up. You keep it laying it up. Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Shane Davis.
And I am Brandon Fountain, and we are the Controlled Burn.
And today, we've got a pretty awesome guest.
I'm pretty excited. This is my dad, everybody. No, I'm kidding. This week we have a Mr. Robert Brooks, the farmer servant, who is in the race for governor in Oklahoma. Is that right?
That's it.
Let's hear it, man.
Farmer servant. So is that what you want to talk about first? The whole idea behind that?
I was jumping through a lot of your socials, just trying to get a feel. And one thing I noticed on everything you've posted, at the end you tag farmer servant of Oklahoma. So please, let's start this off,
Yeah, what is the farmer servant?
So I'm going to give you just a little bit of my first book, okay?
Okay, so it's a book.
It's a book series. The Farmer Servant Manifesto is a book series, and the first book is about my idea for how to be a governor, how I believe every elected official should be, because I love the Constitution and I love the people who built this country. I love their idea. They came here to get away from tyrannical governments that ruled based on religion,
right.
Iron fist religion, but also to get away from overtaxation.
Yeah.
What's the biggest problem we have in politics today?
Corruption?
It depends who you ask.
Yeah, depends on who you ask.
Overtaxation and religious. They're trying to force their religious beliefs on. So the framers of our Constitution, of the people that built this country, they wanted to have farmer servants, people that labored in the field amongst all the other people, gathered ideas, and then took those ideas to the Capitol to form legislation to further our country.
So truly a representation of the people.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. I'm tracking. How many books are in your series?
There's going to be 18 books.
Okay.
So it was really one book altogether.
Uh-huh.
But when I decided, man, I can't get any of these other elected officials to listen to me, because what I decided is we're in a modern era, okay? When they formed this country, they said, wow, we want these farmer servants. And they thought, well, how are we going to do it? And we're going to send them out. They're going to labor. They're going to bring the ideas back. And back then, they only had one-way communication. That was a newspaper, right?
Right.
Now we have the internet.
Yeah.
So I said, wow, self-governance. We can utilize this internet to bring that to gather that information. So I started trying to get elected officials to listen to me. And it's like the gentleman I was talking to a while ago. He's like, man, we email them all the time. They won't listen to us either.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? If they won't listen to me, I'm going to run myself. And so that's the idea of the People's App. That's one pillar.
That is the reason I wanted to bring you on the show. So real quick, just to give a quick brief synopsis on how this happened. But I can't remember why, but I found you on Facebook somehow or another. And you had asked someone to reach out because you had talked to him or something like that, and you hadn't had contact or something like that. And I was like, man, this was right after, I think this was right after Kevin Stitt, or right before Kevin Stitt made his statements about cannabis.
Oh, that little thing?
Yeah, that little, that just tiny little thing here. And I had a couple questions, and I can't remember the reason I reached out, but it quickly became because Kevin Stitt made his statement. And on our first conversation, you had told me that, you were in favor of cannabis, and here in the cannabis industry, man, we got nothing. I mean, we've got, and I hate to say this, but our best bet, it looks like right now, which is terrifying, is Gettner Drummond, which is terrifying because we know he's morally against cannabis. Now, we know he owns cannabis businesses, so he right, go figure, right? But we don't have anybody that's just been like, yeah, man, I'm here for it. So the fact that you came in with that, I was like, oh, well, the cannabis industry needs to know about you. They need to know. And then you said something about this app, and it's the first idea I've ever heard, and I fell in love with it immediately. So I was like, oh, I got to get this guy on the show. And I can't believe you agreed to it. I'm so glad you did.
Right.
But yeah, thanks. But can you tell us a little bit? We know the origin story now. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about the People's app?
Well, so with the People's app, you got to understand, my whole platform as governor is to only do the will of the people. Okay?
Right.
So
that's the idea of a public servant.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
The farmer servant. Okay. And how I'm going to do that is through the People's app. We're going to give the people an app called the People's app. And so when I'm elected governor, every major decision, every bill, every pardon, every clemency will be put on the app, and I will let the registered voters decide if I sign it or veto it. And so, and here's the thing. This is how I got brought into the marijuana thing, okay? On most things, you ask me, well, Robert, what's your opinion on this or that? And I go, my opinion don't matter.
Right.
Because it's only the will of the people. But here's the beautiful part of why I'm able to talk about cannabis. Who brought cannabis?
Because the people voted. Yeah.
That's right, the people. So for me, that's like a no-brainer.
You already know majority rule is that they wanted it. Yeah.
And so
beautiful.
That fits right in with the People's app, And I my word, to the people out in the cannabis industry, if we'd have had the People's app along, we'd have had marijuana a long time before.
Sure.
And we wouldn't have to do. Here's the problem with politics today: we, the people, elect representatives that are supposed to represent us, but they don't. So we have to do petition drives.
Right.
We have to do all of these petition drives. And for me, and here's why, and I'll give you an example. Here's why. These politicians, they make promises when it's time. Cindy Munson, I'm going to pick on her, okay?
She's the Democrat, right?
She's the Democrat.
Right?
She's always been quiet about cannabis. I come out in favor of it.
Well, when Kevin Stitt had his State of the State address, I immediately jumped on Facebook that night and started trying to find every other candidate just to see what responses were, because I was curious.
Yeah, see where they stood.
And Cindy was one of the first ones that popped up where, she's I don't know anything about her. I've got no dog in the fight on that, and I didn't know what her stance was before that speech.
But she's always been quiet on it.
Right,
okay?
right.
So this is how politicians do. Here's how they work.
Opportunists.
Well, they are. So come campaign time, come election time, they hire political strategists to do surveys. And then they have these speech writers. They go, oh, right now, hey, there's a hot button topic out there with weed.
Right.
So we're going to write this beautiful, and it's going to sound great, and you're going to record it, and we're going to put it on Facebook. And so that's what happened. So they do their surveys, and then a week or two later, they go, all right, Cindy, read this script, and then we're going to put it out there, and then everybody falls for it. And that's exactly what's going on now. And that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm the only one that, if you look at my platform of For and By the People with the People's app to listen to the people, that I'm literally the only candidate that you can go, yeah, we can believe him. He's not just being responsive to some surveys.
Right.
His platform actually supports our cause.
Yeah, with whatever that cause might be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to listen to the people. So that's the People's app. It basically, what it does, it restores the people, and it puts the people in the seat of the governor, and it makes the people the final say in our state government.
What do you, if you want to say, I'm just curious, but did you listen to Kevin Stitt talk about cannabis?
I was there, and I listened to part of it, and I got so pissed off I had to leave. I'm being honest.
Can you imagine
Because it's all political posture.
I can't imagine, especially what bothers me the most about it is I've been a Republican my whole life, right? Funny enough, I was not raised into it. My grandparents, my mother was a Republican, but pretty much everybody else in my family was pretty old school liberal, old school Democrat, let me say, not liberal.
Yellow dog.
Yeah. And right. And I voted for the guy twice. Mm-hmm. As a Republican, I know what my values are, and that is I like, money to be spent well. I like money to be planned well. Pretty much all the things I don't do in my personal life nowadays. No, but, tax revenue, less regulation, less bureaucracy, more the opposite of socialism, and for somebody who is a Republican to get on and basically say, now we know we've already voted this in, but now I want to call a vote to get rid of it. It's like, did you even think about the repercussions?
Well, he wanted to make noise.
And I know that, and I don't think for a second this is going to happen.
Right.
I can tell you the cannabis industry now is posturing to, hopefully, to fix this issue moving forward. See, you know why they don't say anything out against certain, like the oil and gas or against, the ranch owners and things? Because they have organizations.
Well, and when they run for office,
talking about lobbyists.
Well, they have, but they have industry associations. They have lobby. They have.
It costs a lot of money to campaign to be in any kind of office. I mean, especially governor. So, I mean, that money does come from somewhere.
Yeah, but the oil and gas PACs that got formed and the Cattlemen Association, if they need something or they want something, they get it.
Yeah.
Because and this is the beauty of the government, right? Here is a group of people who have a shared interest, pool their money together and their effort together, and they make something happen. And I love that aspect of it, okay? But we don't have that in cannabis.
Well, we've got to a point where the big money owns everything.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's part of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to displace that.
Right.
In a peaceful way. Because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing people getting angry. I'm seeing shots being fired. I'm seeing blood being shed. And I'm going, hey, we have got to restore the people back into government. And we've got to take the money out of it. We need to refocus our elected officials' attention back to what the people want and away from the money.
Industries, corporations.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And you're coming from a pretty unique perspective on this, because right now, the state, the country, it's pretty 50-50 at this point. It's pretty divided. And you've got Republican, you've got Democrat, but you're running as an independent, right? Mm-hmm. So I would imagine there's going to be some challenges.
So this is my platform. I'm not for the left. I'm not for the right. I'm for the people. So I'm the guy that literally one day I'm at a Turning Point USA rally, and the next day I'm at an anti-ICE rally, and I'm just sitting there going, hey, talk to me.
You're just taking it in.
I want to know what's going on.
Right.
Because what I'm doing in my brain, I'm going, how can I bring these people together?
Yeah.
Well, you watch, Donald Trump did a State of the Union address last night, in which Donald Trump is very, he set up a handful of things, because in issues that are going on right now, on issues that they agree on, everybody's going to stand up and clap. But on the ones that right now they're at an impasse, nobody is going to stand up on that left side.
Yeah.
In Donald Trump, he absolutely knows that, and so he'll kind of tee it up to where he kind of will make them look like fools.
Boy, did he ever!
Well, and it goes both ways depending on who's standing in that chair. But being an independent, I mean, how does that campaign look?
Well, I'm going to give you my immigration, my stance on immigration. And I'm trying to focus more on state issues.
Right.
But because there have been some things that have brought the state into it. Here's my stance on immigration, okay? the parties created the problem, okay? And the media, okay? The Biden administration opened the borders, and the media, both left, Fox News, CNN, Fox News and CNN, all of them. And they told those people in foreign countries, more specifically Mexico, hey, come up here. The borders are open, okay? You gotta be open-minded enough to put yourself in those people's shoes.
Sure.
They
100%.
don't speak English. They're low education, and they're being told, hey, the American media is telling us we can come up here, and the president of the United States wants us there.
Right, right.
And their conditions are not good.
No.
They're horrible.
No.
For most
Can
of
you
them.
imagine if you were them, you come up here and see, that's what breaks my heart, is because our government, let's quit saying Biden or what, let's narrow it down and say our government and our for-profit media invited them up here, and now they're getting beat on, and some of them were trafficked.
A lot.
Now, but the problem was also we had terrorists and criminals come in with them.
When they said the borders were open for everybody,
Absolutely.
everybody.
The drug dealers, the terrorists, the people that knew that they were going to be, trafficking humans.
There were some
it was
prisons
like,
in Central America. There was a handful of prisons where they just released everybody and said, take off that
Absolutely.
way.
So that's what I'm trying to bring to light.
There's got to be common sense
I'm
involved
trying
in
to
this.
say, look, you on the left, you on the right, quit. It's called Machiavellianism.
Yes.
They use us as pawns. They create the government, the people that run, the two parties are ran by the same corporate money, which a lot of it comes from China.
Right.
Okay. And what they're doing is they're going, hey, Biden did this, Trump did this. And the fact of the matter is they are the same machine.
Yeah.
They're the people that run the two parties are the same machine, and so they create the mess. Then they claim one side creates it one, but what we need to realize as people is they are using us. We need to, again, with one way we're going to do it is with the People's app. We need to put the people back in the seat of government and hold them accountable.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if the People's app wasn't an Oklahoma thing, if it was a country thing? That's your big idea. I know
That
it
is.
I knew it.
So what we're going to do, we're going to start it here at the governor's seat. Okay, my plan is to have it fully installed within the first year. Okay, and we're gonna start it with just samplings so that we can get it going. And I'm gonna be straight up front, guys. I don't have all the answers to that.
Sure.
I have IT people that they're the ones that can tell you the details.
After you get close to that, it'll be clear where your resources are going to be from and things. And yeah, I get it.
No, if we didn't have the
Relationships
the
between now and
production,
then will dictate it. Yeah.
And for the naysayers, there's people, look, we have healthcare.gov, and it services way more people than just the voters of Oklahoma.
And it started as an idea.
Absolutely.
It had to have.
So what we're going to do the first year, we're going to get all the kinks worked out in the first year with the People's app. And then hopefully by year 2, 3, 4, we're expanding it. We've got it going, and by the time that my second term comes, the people are going to know what it's like to actually be in the seat of governance. And look, I'm going to be a shoo-in for a second term. Okay,
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
and then hopefully by that time, we also have other My goal is by my second term is to have the people we send to Washington, our senators and representatives that we send to Washington, signed on board, going, you know what? When we go to Washington, we're going to listen to the people so that we can start expanding it. Because I feel like the further you get away from local government, the more disconnected. Mark Wayne Mullen, you listen to the guy talk. He's so far out of touch with what's going on here. And so hopefully by the second term, we also have some representatives and some senators. I personally feel like once the people see what self-governance is really all about, every representative. I want it in city council. I'd love to see city council members saying, you know what, we just want to do what the people of our town want.
Well, dude, it could get to a point where it's a .gov app even, or something that big where every city council, every whatever, just applies to have, a part of it, and it can all be ran through the same app even, which would make it even better.
Absolutely.
If it was from the top down.
Well,
Absolutely.
the problem
great.
is you've got a lot of people in positions where they're going to hang on to that power, and this is an app that's absolutely going to scare the shit out of some of those guys.
That's what I figured out as I started trying to pitch this idea.
They're like, whoa, Robert, slow down.
hold on now,
absolutely,
Robert.
because you know what they see? They see dollar signs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how am I gonna get my son a job as a lobbyist if I'm listening to the people?
Yeah, exactly.
You believe it or not, there are leadership in our state government today whose relatives are working for lobbyist firms.
I would absolutely love that's
I won't
amazing.
say the name,
That's
but
amazing.
everybody watching knows who I'm talking about.
I can't wait to hear someone try to make an argument on why this is a bad idea.
Oh, that's why
I
they
can't
run from
wait
it.
to hear. Like, think about that.
No, they're gonna
how
put
do you
it-
how do you if you don't want it, right? Think about this, Shane. If you're a scumbag and you don't want this, okay, because you have ulterior motives,
Right.
How do you defend your idea without just outing yourself?
It's bulletproof.
I'll tell you. I hire Pam Bondi to go up there and
to just dodge every question about it.
yeah.
Well, so here's how you do it.
Magical.
You attack the candidate. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the problem with attacking this candidate. I'm the guy that don't wear the suit and tie and tell lies.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the guy that says, look, I am imperfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a devout Christian. I'm not perfect. I have a past.
Yeah.
I'm going through a divorce, all sorts of things, but I just want to do the will of the people.
They're going to get a hold of that ex-wife.
And the problem with that is she's an absolutely wonderful person.
Yeah.
And we're great friends and
bad avenue.
But that's the deal. The only thing they're going to do is try to attack me.
Right, right.
Because the People's app, it's like it's bulletproof. It's like I'm just the dumb old country boy that says, I just want the people to run the government.
Yeah.
Well,
I just
wanna
had a
be
vision.
governor, go ahead. And while I'm governor, I want to go play music and when there's if there's a wildfire over in Woodward, I want to run over there and listen to those people. If there's a tornado in Moore, if there's a little podcast in Tulsa, I want to go hang.
Big podcast.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, it's going to blow up after tonight.
Come on.
They're going to be like the People's app.
Yeah.
What is that?
We might rebrand. We might be the People's Podcast after this.
Hey, no, we are looking for a couple, sponsors.
Yeah.
Go to votewethepeople.com.
I don't know what you just endorsed, but
Yeah,
someone just got one.
That's my website.
Oh, okay.
I had it.
I thought you just pulled that off top. I was about to say, uh-oh.
If not that's a very political sounding website though.
Yeah. What is it?
No, it's kind of great. You got that one.
VoteWeThePeople.com. That's good.
Yeah. When I seen it, I was like,
that's
ooh,
good.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It is.
Oh, that's really good.
There's so much more to this though.
Is the app live right now or not yet?
No, it's not. So I'm looking for
It's
investors.
idea phase, yeah.
We're looking for investors. We're ready to pull the trigger.
Well,
so
before we leave here today,
Yeah.
let's give you a few, like a minute or so to plug that so we can clip it and put it out.
So that's part of my whole campaign is very much for the people, okay? I'm the guy that's saying, look, I want the government ran by the people. Now, the politicians, the problem, I mean, follow their money. I'm not going to make any accusations. But look, if you follow the money,
It'll tell you what you need to know.
it'll tell you who owns them, okay? So this is how I'm raising money for my campaign, okay? It's one of the reasons I'm here today. I play music.
Uh-huh.
And so I want to book some gigs. So if you guys know anybody that owns any event centers, bars, or maybe has a wedding or
Absolutely.
or a birthday party, me and my buddy, we will come play some music. See, and that's very farmer servant. I can go play music and listen to people. I also own an insurance brokerage. So, hey, if you want to try to save money, I just saved a guy $10,000 a year on his home and
What's
auto.
the name of the insurance company?
So I'm an independent broker.
Okay.
So I represent multiple carriers.
Gotcha.
And then of course today I just completed the necessary paperwork to start taking campaign donations.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to donate, I need it. You know.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not beholden to any.
You're not a millionaire. You're not
a
multimillionaire,
man. I'm not. I just want to be for the people. And then also if somebody wants to invest in the People's app, we're looking for investors so we can start the app.
No, the time is now.
Absolutely.
I mean, that could be.
Absolutely.
Well, you see that work once on any level, and that thing.
Why
blows
do
up.
you think I wrote the book about it?
Right.
Look.
So if someone snags it, you want
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to be the guy. I again, man, I write about this, and I had the luxury of having. Well, I consider him the world's greatest history teacher. His name's Brandon Fenham, and it pains me to say his first name, but he insists.
Right.
You know, it's Mr. Fenham.
That's a good name. Brandon's a good name.
Dude, he just the way he taught American history, and it clicked with me one day. I'm like, this app, this is a very I mean, when you think about it in history, 100 years from now, when it spreads throughout our government, and we actually have elected officials that are true delegates of the people, just listening to the people, they're going to go, now what was that? Brooks, the farmer servant.
Right.
He's the one that had the idea, that stood up against the corrupt politicians in his state of Oklahoma and said, you know what? We're taking our damn state back. We're tired of it. And he is the one that peacefully restored our government back at a time when shots were beginning to be fired,
Right.
when communities were being burned. He restored peace to our government. That's what I want to be. I don't want to get rich.
Be nice to have a little bit of money, but I'm not rich. I get it.
So here's my idea. I want to, for the rest of my life, I want to make the equivalent, adjusted for inflation, of what the governor of Oklahoma makes, which is about a little over $147,000.
That's not a lot of money.
It's not. But you know what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to be able to go around and do this right here.
Right.
I want to once my term as governor is over, I want to travel throughout the United States, helping other elected officials install the People's app into their campaigns.
No, I'd love to take the traditional news media polling on different topics and compare that to the We the People app.
No, well, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. You got to remember, where do they make their money?
Yeah. No, that'd be so eye opening.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because this is something that we talked about, and don't take this the wrong way.
No,
I'm just curious.
I'm an open book, brother.
Okay. I look back and I think we've had Democrat governors, we've had Republican governors. We've never had a libertarian, we've never had an independent. Why independent? Knowing that it's going to be a tougher, it's going to be a harder, quote unquote, let me rephrase that. The way it seems to us is, if you say, okay, I'm going to run on the independent ticket, it's like, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're signing up for a harder fight.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
what I like.
Okay. All right.
I grew up poor, dirt poor. I've never done anything. Nothing's ever, you look at me and you compare me to all the other candidates. They got money.
Yeah.
They've had, and I'm not going to say that. My road in life compared to theirs has been much harder.
Okay.
I've built everything. I've done everything on my own. But, I mean, there's a plethora of reasons. But for one, if you enter as a Republican, or you have to answer to them. Listen to some of the representatives and senators today. Jim Shaw had a great bill. But it's like he says, they won't listen to you. Unless you're at the top of that party, they're not going to listen to you.
Right.
And folks, I've been trying to get the word out about my idea for a long time, and they will not listen. So if you enter on a party platform, you're beholden to that party. And here's the other thing. The folks at the top of that party, they control the money. You're never going to make it. But besides that, I want to open the people's eyes up to, it's not a left versus right. It's us versus them. It's the people versus a political machine. And
a well-oiled.
It's a well-oiled. Machine. It's ran by money. But when you follow that money, you have to cross oceans. And that's the problem.
Well, we were just saying this recently. It's been a whole lot cooler and a whole lot easier to be a conspiracy theory conspiracy theorist lately, with everything that's coming out. Mm-hmm. But that's just, I mean, and I'm not trying to tie this into necessarily that, but it just kind of shows you're absolutely right, dude. Mm-hmm. It's the machine has, when it got turned on, it ain't stopped running flawlessly since. There have been things that have caused hiccups in the machine, but the machine always works its problems out and gets back to running.
It's a two-headed monster.
It is very much. And whoever is in seat is just the face. Pay no mind to the man behind the curtain.
I want to be the face of the people.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a unique time because you're not going to get any love from like Fox or NBC. No. You're not, because you're in that middle, like essentially common sense ground. You're going to get no support from the traditional news media. But I mean, we saw with the last election, Donald Trump hit all the podcast, like the biggest podcasts he was on, and because he also didn't get any support that way. But we're in such a new time. I mean, it's really the average person's faith in what traditional news has always been is, I mean, at a drastic low number. And so, I mean, you're kind of like in a pretty cool spot.
It's a very cool spot. This is the time that you can get away with it. If ever a time, it's now.
Well,
it started with a presidential election.
It's needed right now.
Yeah,
people need it. And you hit on something a while ago. I want to backtrack on.
Sure, go ahead.
With the conspiracy thing, the reason why we have to be conspiracy, we don't know what's true.
Right.
So that's part of my app called The People's Table, is 100% transparency in the government. But folks, and this is anybody watching that wants to invest in this, one thing I want to do when I'm governor, I want those on me the entire time.
I noticed you love cameras.
I want cameras on me.
You're not afraid of them, should I say?
No, I want them because I want people, because what the People's app is going to do, it's going to cause people to re-engage with politics. And I want people to know everything that's going on. That way it eliminates any need for conspiracy or whatever. Because right now, I mean, I have people asking me about Epstein and this and that, and I just have to tell them, first of all, I'm focused. I got to fix Oklahoma before I can.
Yeah.
Right. But second of all, the part of the problem is we don't know what's real and what's not real.
Right.
I think there's more to it than we're even seeing. I think the stuff that's released and all that, I still think it's. I think that they are releasing what will be released. And,
absolutely.
And if there's things in there that they don't want us to know, we ain't ever going to know.
And that's the thing. So the People's app and the People's Table will eliminate that, folks. You will know everything about your government. One problem I have today, the one place where cameras are not allowed in the state of Oklahoma?
The bathroom?
Courtroom. Well, besides the I forgot about that.
I was just about to say, like, if you go take a shit, you gonna bring a camera in? Sure. I'm about to say, we can leave that camera outside. We can just look at the door. You know what I mean? Like, When you open the door, like,
You know, but
yeah, but courtroom, I agree. I don't understand it.
I mean,
Unless it's a high-profile case and they allow them in, what's the point of that?
I don't know. Beats the hell out of me. I think but also in our government, there are so many things they do behind the scenes that no. So that's why I'm like, as your governor, I want to sign a contract. Now, this is also how I'm going to make money.
Right.
But guess what I'm going to do with this money? We're going to create it's kind of like a boarding school, but it's kind of like a YMCA for underprivileged kids.
Okay.
And because I have a way we're going to help fix part of the problem with our kids.
Okay.
So I want to sign a contract, and now obviously I want the first 140-some thousand out of it, but the rest of the money, so if Netflix or anybody like that's watching, they go, hey, let's sign a contract, and I'm going to donate this money, and we're going to build this boarding school for underprivileged kids. I want to do one in Lawton, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa.
Okay.
Just to start with.
First of all, if Netflix is watching, we would absolutely sell the podcast. Let me start there. B, I love that. Maybe don't do any islands for the boarding school for now anyway.
Yeah, no.
Let's just let some time pass. No, I'm kidding. No, it's...
But how do you feel about having a governor that says every piece of state business is going to be open,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
The one place we've never had reality TV is in government.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point.
So have you guys been watching me on my Facebook? And so you're going to notice a difference whenever I ask average Joe at the Quick Trip, hey, is there corruption in government? They're like, oh yeah. Yeah. But when you find politicians and you ask them, most of them run away, except for Shane Jett. But most politicians will run from that.
Who is
question.
Shane Jett?
He's a senator out of Shawnee.
Okay.
And
what did he say?
He said 100%.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The machine don't like him.
Well,
They don't. They don't.
it's not it's just not something you can say no to at this point.
Well, that's what blows my mind, dude. Me and him also talked about this. I said, dude, if I were a politician, I would have loved for him to come and say that to me, because I would have said, this is how I would answer. Like if I was that HHS guy, right? The home, or not HHS, but health department guy, right? Mm-hmm. Is there any corruption in health? And maybe he really doesn't know or think there is, right? But I can't believe that, right? I don't know what his role is, but let's say, I was a politician, you asked me that. Oh yeah, I believe there's corruption. Now, can I point a finger at exactly who it is? Right. No, but I can see the remnants of it.
That's right.
Why? It almost is like, unless you're a part of it,
right.
Then I could understand you. But no, I don't want to. I don't want to be part of that. Why run from that question?
Absolutely.
Well, it's an easy thing. I mean, you got to kind of be prepared to get hit with certain ones, and that right now is a pretty big.
I mean, God, even if they laughed about it and said probably,
have you guys noticed how many people are getting arrested at open meetings for asking government officials questions? They kicked me out of a public museum yesterday.
Where at?
In Oklahoma City.
Okay.
What?
I seen a guy in Claremore.
I walked up to him and asked him, I said, hey, is there any corruption in government? And they kicked me out. But there was a guy, I know him, Darren Blanchard, absolutely phenomenal person. Listen.
Is he a politician? What is he?
No, man, he's just a decent
Oh, just a guy. Okay.
And he went to, I don't know the particulars, so.
Sure.
I just know he was at an open meeting and got arrested for, quote, trespassing. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal,
can't
guys.
Trespass from
that
public
was Claremore,
property.
right?
Oh, boy. See, I used to be a cop.
It was Claremore, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, I know the story.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you know Ron Durbin?
I know of him.
Okay.
I don't know him personally.
So I will just tell you, the cannabis industry,
they're divided.
not big. Yeah, mostly not big fans.
It's both sides.
Not big fans there. Definitely a little bit of divided, right? He was a cannabis guy.
But he's been doing some pretty. So whatever you feel about Ron Durbin,
Sure.
The lane that he is now in,
It fits him better.
Dude. Well, he's been exposing corruption in small towns,
Absolutely.
the towns that nobody considers.
Anybody can
or
get behind
forgotten
that.
about. Dude. It's
Except for the
honestly
people getting exposed.
Yeah, right, all right. No, it's been great. Like the small town my wife is from, Oilton, Oklahoma. I mean, like they found all kinds of stuff going on with the law enforcement leadership there, and so I mean, love him or hate him, like the path he's gone is exciting. I've been watching.
Well, and his channels. So what's funny is before it all went out. So I'm a dumbass. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I am the guy that's never been afraid to talk to people, no matter what. So far in
gets him in
life,
some shit.
It has gotten me into some shit, my brother. Let me tell you. But there are a couple of people in the cannabis industry that people are like, don't do it. And so you got to understand, there are people in this world that have personality disorders.
Sure.
And yet there's almost nobody that's safe from somebody that has a personality disorder. It's just not gonna. You just can't be safe from that. I never really looked at it like that before, and then I started understanding it, and I was like, oh. And now I try to avoid it,
No, if you tell Brandon to not talk to somebody, that triggers that competitive, like I can win him.
Yeah.
I can win
him over.
My only advice to Ron Durbin would be this, because whenever you get to know me and you get to know people that have known me for many years, I used to do what Ron does in my hometown of Lindsay.
First Amendment auditor kind of thing?
Yeah. And look, I was the guy in Lindsay that was preaching about property taxes. Right now it's a hot button topic,
it is.
right? I was in Lindsay saying, whoa, wait, guys, this is a problem. And I created a lot of enemies. And I tell you that to tell you this. My approach used to be very Ron Durbin, okay? And I watch Ron and I go, man, I wished he would be a little bit more patient, slow down, because what he's going to find, he's going to do, I did, guys. I write about this in my book. What it did, part of there's several things that led to my depression. I went through a depression period.
Uh-huh.
And there's several things, and that was part of it. And if I could say to Ron anything like, Ron, slow down. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear yourself out.
Not so guns blazing.
But also be more reasonable. And I'm just preaching from my experience.
Sure.
Because I'm going to tell you folks right now, I'm going to tell everybody watching, I would not vote for the Robert Brooks 5 years ago.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way. And it's like Ron, I watch a lot of his stuff. I wouldn't vote for him to be a governor. But I also watch him and I go, dadgummit, Ron, you would be much more effective if you walked in with a little bit different approach. Because folks that knew me 5-6 years ago will tell you Robert's approach is what he was always. I've always been a forward thinker. I've always been able to see the problems like the property tax issue.
I want to get you passionate.
Man, I'm going to tell you, and for me, I feel much better. I've actually tried to reach out to Ron for a while because I want to set him down. I want to go, dude, I love what you're doing, but take a little softer approach and have some compassion for some of these people, because I see him going after some of these school superintendents and stuff, and I see him doing exactly what I used to do. Not understanding, like, man, there are certain things that you just can't talk about. You can't come up in my school and press me about an employee issue because I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, on one hand, I'm like, Ron, I love what you're doing, but brother, you're going to wear yourself out mentally. You're going to create enemy. And for me, being a compassionate person, now I look back on some of the people that I went against in the same fashion, and I feel bad about it because I put undue stress on them that they didn't deserve. That, you can't walk into somebody's office and demand that they talk about an employee issue, because they can't.
Right.
You know.
Well, and I mean, and he's a smart enough guy to where he knows that.
I don't think. Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know if it would land well if you talk to him and try to tell him that, because he's very strong-willed. First of all, very much so. So, just what we were just talking about me talking to people. So, I decided to reach out, and this was before he was like. He exited the industry
he
all
was
the
still
way.
in cannabis.
So he still had like plenty of people that were like in, or on the fence, didn't have an opinion or liked him. He had already made people mad by this point, but I had always watched, and I had always got, and don't kill me here, guys, I'm just being real. I had always got from him, oh, he's trying to do the right thing. It's just his approach was not the greatest, and sometimes he would, in my opinion, he would go a little hard on a subject that probably maybe you could have just not focused on at all, right?
And you were in law enforcement, and one of the, which, training in law enforcement is a huge lapse right now. But one thing they really harp on is interpersonal communication skills.
Absolutely.
In energy matching. If you come in aggressive.
De-escalation.
Right. Like, if someone's yelling at me, the natural human response is to be defensive and yell
Get louder, match the energy, right?
But what you should do is calm down, speak quieter than they are.
Every time
and
they get louder, get quieter.
Right.
Yep.
And that kind of brings people down. You can actually have a conversation. But if the point is to try and get somebody riled up to where they say something that you can use to whatever your goal is, I think a lot of the time that's what it is. Is trying, because you see a lot of the people that ultimately get made to look stupid are the ones that get real emotional and say out of pocket stuff, and then that's the moment where it's like, gotcha, okay, roll the tapes, we're out,
roll it, yep. No, I agree, 100%.
And
no,
folks, when I'm governor, I want a team. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm building my team of, I call it a coalition of consultants, okay? And I would love to have people that do what Ron does.
Yeah.
But again, it's method of delivery. I see a lot of the old me in Ron and some of the other people that are doing what, and I think, man, if I could just sit down and tell him my stories, and not just him, just other people that do that, and say, look, let's have, but let's also put some Jesus in there. Let's have some grace. Let's forgive.
Gotta have some grace.
And so that's what I'm trying to build.
Right.
I want, because in the government today, again, my platform is for the people. So I'm going to need people in the cannabis industry, in the, what do you call those people that they do?
Agriculture?
Well, no, what Ron does. What do they call that?
Auditors,
yeah.
First Amendment auditor, yeah.
We need that. We
agree.
need people like that in government, just especially at the local level, holding people accountable.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to build, is a coalition, and I want it to be everybody. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white. I don't care about any of that. If you're a person, you have compassion, you show grace, love, and mercy, you're doing it for the right reason, I want you on board.
Yep, I agree 100%. Do you watch any? So my thing is, I agree. I find myself watching a lot of First Amendment auditors. I don't know why or how I got on it. And it's crazy because a lot of times I'm sitting there and I'm hating it. I'm like, dude, I hate this. Like, stop. Like, yes, we know you're right, but damn, like these are. And I agree to the point of it is, you can't step on people's rights, right? And I get that. A lot of times it comes down to, it's a small town. You have somebody that's born and raised there their whole life. They're very small-minded, not because they choose to be, but because that's all they know, right? And now they're in this position to where they can be trampling people's rights and don't realize it. I think sometimes the best way to handle that is just simply to, in a friendly way, to educate them, right? And if they want to buck up to you at that point and get mad about it, okay, fine, whatever. But I love the idea of showing these courthouses and city halls and libraries. The library ones are some of the best ones, right? Because they, in their mind, they're not public. It's private property, but it's not. It's a public library, right?
Well, you want to see the problem get worse? You defund all of that. You defund the police. As soon as I saw that, going
that's
crazy,
garbage.
I'm like, you guys are thinking about it all wrong.
If anything, we need to pour funding into training.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, most police officers, they have to qualify one time on their firearm. Most police officers won't ever pull that thing, their whole career. And it's like, dude, in order to be proficient with a weapon in a situation when especially if you're moving, like things are going, like you have got to be trained. It has to be muscle memory.
People clown the cops like, that do. So like Steve, my buddy Steve, right? And how he wants me and him to go do like, the run rep training and things like that. People clown that and they like, oh, you just love being military. Like, no, that's how you avoid incidents, right? Is you learn when and when not to. And if you do have to pull it, you want to make sure that you're proficient with it, or you're on target.
When I was a gunner.
That's how you avoid injury.
I was in Mosul, Iraq as a gunner, and my squad leader, I was the lucky gunner that got to be in the squad leader truck. And he was old school guy. He'd been through Desert Storm, and he was kind of a career staff sergeant. They tried to promote him a bunch of times, and he just wanted to be a squad leader. And we were I was the only gunner that went through this. And in the moment, I hated it. I was pissed. But as a gunner, they've got ripcords where if something, you hit an ID, someone's shooting at us, or I get shot, they can pull them to where I drop. So we
out
ran
of the turret.
You're right.
You were in an MRAP.
You're sitting on. I did a Humvee, and then the MRAP came in the Plus.
Okay.
And so we ran this drill where with a Humvee, if you jump down, let's say your driver gets shot, there's a throttle lever in a Humvee where you can make that thing go forward and get you out of the kill zone if something happens to your driver without having to press the pedals.
That's cool.
So we ran this drill that our driver, he's down, he pulls the cord, I drop, it's a metal thing. When we got there, everybody's wearing all their knee pads and elbow pads, and after 2 weeks, you get rid of all that. But so this, I literally didn't have my knee pads. My knees are all bleeding. We did it 100 times. I mean, it was daytime when we started doing it, and it was dark by the time we were done. And I mean, just again,
muscle memory though.
Oh, dude, thank God I never had to use this skill. But to this day, if I'm in that similar situation, I could just naturally react because it's just burned into me. Well,
same thing. So my church that I go to, I'm a member of my church. I love Jesus. I'm a devout Christian. You probably can't tell all the time because I don't look and sound like a normal Christian because I cuss a bit, but I do love Jesus.
But hold on, I think that's the problem.
I know
that's the problem in politics, and that's something I'm trying to shed light to. The Jesus I know didn't hate anybody.
Facts.
And the Jesus I know hung out with.
Jesus I know ran around with prostitutes,
I'm
tax
collectors. I'm gonna be
collectors.
honest with you. The Jesus I know would be hated by both sides today.
100%.
If he were alive today, he would be. So that's what I was talking about. The stone casting. When we go back to that, part of the whole problem that I have with some auditors, it's like, at what point are you going to forgive this person?
Right.
This person, and it's part of the problem we have in our criminal day. One of my platforms, one of my big plans is criminal justice reform, guys. Oklahoma, y'all realize we put more people in prison than any place on earth.
Real life? I did not
Real
know
life.
Jeez.
That's a problem because we don't have the highest per capita crime.
And we have the worst education system.
50th in education.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's a direct correlation. So the stone casting is something I preach about a lot. Okay? And that's what I see with a lot of these. I'm like, dude, you're on there casting some stones, and I'm sure you got some problems of your own.
Yeah, and I know you live in a glass house, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of the problem I have with some of the auditing. And that's when you read my book, you'll see we have a big hate problem in society today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Big time.
And one of the things that I'm trying to get people to understand is, look, it's us against them. They want us hating each other. We need to go back to what Jesus said, okay? He who is without sin cast the first stone. Take that plank out of your eye before you throw that stone, brother.
Yep.
Because, man, and people look at me and they go, well, Robert, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just turning the tables on the tax collectors. That's all.
Yes.
Like, look, you have no idea this stuff. People come to me and they go, well, this one's sleeping with that. And I go, whoa.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have anything to do with our taxes, with their job performance, I don't care who they sleep with.
Yeah. No.
I don't care. I don't care what they do off the clock. Okay.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to get people to focus on. And that's what I see back to the auditing thing. I see a lot of that hate and it breaks my heart.
You pray for those people and you try to
That's all
introduce
you
them to
can do.
Jesus and hope for the best.
And you look at them and they've got this camera shoved in this person's face, and this person's wanting to say, like, yeah, I did that forever ago, but I'm a different person. Like, what do you want me to go without a job? And I see some of these auditors demanding that this person get fired, and I'm going, man, like, show some love.
Pull them aside and talk to them. Maybe they'll never do it again. Maybe they just didn't know.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this, okay? And I had this story come to me the other day. It was a guy in a small town, and I will not tell the names to help the innocent.
Sure.
But he told me, he said, there's this police officer, and we heard everybody in town knew he was messing around with the school teacher. He said, rather than embarrassing them both, we pulled them aside and we set them down and we said, look, this is what you need to do. Fix this mess. Mm-hmm. And I look at that and he asked me, he said, Robert, what do you think about that? He goes, I'm testing you. And I said, that's how it should be.
Yeah. 100%.
That's how Jesus taught me.
Yeah.
And he goes, you got my vote. And I'm like, oh, well, it's that simple. And he goes, yeah. He goes, it's that simple,
I agree.
So.
Check out Amagansett Press.
All right. Will you
I
send
love
it to
them.
me?
Yeah, I love them. I'm stupid, I know, but it's one of the only auditors that I actually enjoy watching. He's I shouldn't say older, actually. He's probably not. Actually, now I think about it, he's probably around 60, so he's not too old. But he got him and his son, and they go, and they this is their life. Their life is their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool because they travel, and sometimes his wife's with him, sometimes not, but they travel all over the country from everywhere. They do a whole lot of cool stuff up and down the East Coast, but they just go around. They love to travel. They love to tour. So they go around, they see all these cities that they want to see, and then while they're there, they make videos. They go around, they walk down the sidewalks, and they just record the businesses, record the streets and everything, and content just happens for them. They'll be standing there not saying a word, recording businesses, right? And not targeted businesses, not you see some that are doing it on a sidewalk and it's a dispensary and it's by itself and it's okay, clearly you're just doing it. They don't so much do that. It's just sidewalk downtown, so there's a bunch of business, right? And they're just videotaping the businesses they walk by. And people will come out hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just taking some pictures and videos. Well, and it either goes, well, what for? And he's like, so I have it? Because it's cool. We're not from here, and sometimes people are really cool, and sometimes they're like, well, don't record my business. Yeah. And then he's like, well, did you know that actually I'm in public, and this is a public space, and I can actually record anything I can see? Mm-hmm. well, you can't record me without my permission, blah, 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 and that's where it'll get started. And it's even funny because there's been people that he's had to pepper spray because they'll come and like they start attacking him, bro. Like grab his camera and everything. And then it's like, okay, at that point, you don't know. That's fine, but you don't just get to go put your hands on people because you feel a certain way.
Right.
That's how you get introduced to, meet my constitutional rights.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's just, we're at that point in society where there are still those out there that are not accustomed to a camera.
Right.
I've noticed that as I go camping. A lot of the older generation are like, nah.
Yes.
But the younger generation's like, why are you asking me? You know, they're like, yeah, I'll do it.
Well, they're so used to looking at a camera all day, so being on is nothing for them. But then, you know, to your point, it can really like get someone emotional to where they feel like they're being violated. Whether, you know, whatever the right is, it's when they're pushing the people that just don't want anything to do with whatever it is that's going on. It's just, you know, it's uncomfortable.
But it also kind of goes back to what you were saying a while ago. You touched on it a little bit. Man, if you come up to me and you know, I'm going to take a picture with you. I'm going to answer your questions.
Right.
But if you start poking the bear, you're going to get the bear, you know?
Right.
Especially if you're in my personal space.
Yep.
You might walk away with a couple less teeth.
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, that's just the thing, man.
You said
It's
something
approach.
earlier that, and I meant to say something then, but we'll go back to it now. It really resonated with me, and I know I've said this on this podcast at least 5 times now, but you said something earlier about it's us versus them, and it's politics has changed a lot, and this is why I hate it. I hate politics right now. I used to be when I came old enough, and as I was settling down out of my stupid ages, which wasn't that long ago, but I was really interested in politics. I got very into it. I mean, Donald Trump's first campaign run when Obama was president, dude, hook, line, and sinker. I was in. This was incredible to watch because I'm like, oh, dude, I was with everybody else. I want the guy to be president, but this guy don't have a chance, right? It's funny because Jimmy Kimmel TV show, he had this segment that he did called Mean Tweets. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but basically any celebrity that was on there, he would, you know, have this random section called Mean Tweets, and he would let the celebrity read people's tweets about them that were mean, right? Hilarious. There's some of the funniest ones. Oh my God.
Barack had some great
Barack Obama was on there and did mean tweets. Well, Donald Trump made a mean tweet, right, about Barack Obama, and it was basically very old school Trumpish, right? Like, worst president in the history of presidents, maybe ever. You know what I mean? Something like that, right?
Right.
And he just said, and I remember this so vividly. I almost want to show you. I'm going to find it and send it to you. But Barack Obama, President Obama, thought he had a mic drop moment. And like, I remember everybody was like, yeah. And I was just like, looking back, I'm like, oh, that did not age well. But he responded to one of Donald Trump's mean tweets. And that's usually what happens in this segment. The celebrity gets to read the mean tweet, and then they get to look at the camera and make a response to it or whatever. He says, well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down in history as an American president. And everybody was like, oh, shit, he got him. And I was like, well, that didn't work out too well, did it?
I've seen that.
He whooped y'all's ass.
I have seen that, man.
But politics, when I was growing up, it was so much less important. Yeah. We had family and friends. Like, for instance, my great-grandma and grandpa, God rest their souls. They were, who knows, they may have been total shitbags, but in my heart, they were amazing people, right? And they're from they're my great-grandparents, right? So born in 1914 and 1923, I think, or 1918, 1923. So they were from the era of people come over to your house and you sit out on the driveway and you drink a beer and you talk and you have dinner or whatever, right? And so we had friends Like, for instance, my great-grandma and grandpa had this couple that they were friends with forever, as far as I know. Because even my grandma said that she knew them when she was younger. But their name were Buck and Norma Grimes. They were from originally from Arkansas, and then I think they lived at the time in Eufaula. And my grandma and grandpa lived right over here in East Tulsa. East Tulsa used to be a very nice spot. This is a neighborhood right over here called Magic Circle on 21st and Garnett. Man, when I was a kid, it was a pretty nice neighborhood. You know what I mean? And now it's run down. It's pretty rough. But back then it was pretty nice. And we'd have friends come over. And if I remember correctly, it was either Buck and Norma or it was another set of friends that they had. They were Republicans. And my grandma and grandpa were Democrats. Mm-hmm. They were best friends. They would maybe make a funny jab or something about the other one's politics. Mm-hmm. But it had no bearing on their friendship. Mm-hmm. None whatsoever. In 2026 or whatever the hell year we're in, I don't give a damn. If Shane come out to me right now as the farthest left liberal and, whatever he could come out as to me, and it's okay. Come out. You're safe with me, brother. I wouldn't care. There was nothing he could tell me that would change our 20-year friendship. Now, maybe there's some things that he could tell me that would change if we had sleepovers. I don't know. But, no, I'm kidding. There's nothing he could tell me. But it's like a part of your culture now. Like, I watch this.
You're supposed to hate people that don't believe the
because
same
we've been
as you.
trained that way now.
So Donald Trump did something.
You can't. It's like you can't be friends with somebody. I watch a damn dating show it's one of these reality TV dating shows, right? Every third guest or every third episode, someone says, "What are your political beliefs?"
Yeah.
And if they say it's a pop a balloon one, if you're done, you pop the balloon. Have you seen that? So they say this, like the guy, one of the girls that has the balloon, or it's both ways, right? But in this instance, it's 8 or 10 girls and they have a balloon. They bring a guy out, right? If any moment one of those girls can pop their balloon and you're out, that means you don't want to date this person. But at the end, whoever's left, and then every few questions, the guy has to go and pop one balloon, and he has to basically say, "I don't want this one." Pop balloon, right? And we go with whatever's left with. Every 3 or 4 episodes.
See, I told you mentioned that over-explaining.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys.
Well, I need to set the tone.
Yeah.
But every 3 or 4 episodes, someone will say, "What are your political beliefs?" And you'll hear, "Well, I'm a liberal," or I'm a Republican. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. And it's
so
what?
We're at a very interesting point in time. Okay, Donald Trump ushered in. People want real politicians. Okay, he ushered that in.
Right.
Okay.
You love him or hate him.
They
It was
want
beautiful.
politicians that are A, real, and B, tell you the truth.
AKA not a politician.
Right, okay? Because people are tired of scripted politics, okay?
Right.
But at the same time, the conflict is they're going, well, but if you're not this or that, I'm supposed to hate. So here's the thing. This is what I'm tapping into. This is what when you do your research and you go to the mainstream governor candidates, you go watch their videos. Boy, they've got that nice press shirt and the Gantner Drummond driving in his truck.
His ranch truck with his coffee mug that he got from his grandpa or whatever. Yeah.
And strategically has the pistol on the dash.
Oh yeah. Pistol may never been fired.
And then the Cindy Munson reading, you can see her reading the script but anyway, and saying exactly what you want to hear, but then at the end you're like, well, so what's your platform? Anyways,
right.
People are tired of all that. They want real. So when they watch me, they go, wait, this isn't scripted. This is real. So they like it.
Yeah.
But then, the number one, they'll go, well, wait, are you a Republican or a Democrat? And it's people that I watch them. They follow me for like a week or two. And then they finally go, well, wait.
I can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll ask me, like, are you a Republican or a Democrat? And then I give them the whole spiel about I'm independent for the people, yeah. And then you get the sense that they're just like, wait, am I supposed to like him or not?
Right, right. No, you got them confused.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what tribe you're a part of. And,
Yep.
Well, and they've never had a politician go, I just want to do what you want. You know?
Right,
I just want to do the will of the people. It's usually, I'm going to do this. But when you listen to what these politicians say, it's very overgeneralized. Like, well, I am pro-education. I'm for the kids, and I want tax reform. And, well, yeah, Mr. McCall, you want tax reform, but the problem is you give those, he's bragging about all these tax cuts.
Right.
And he did. I'll give him credit. The guy cut taxes, but the problem was it was for the rich people and the corporations, not for us. They overgeneralize to pull you in. And that's where we're at in politics.
Robert Brooks has an opinion on probably almost everything.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Robert Brooks is going to vote just like everybody else does, right? Yeah, I love that.
I'm literally gonna have my own People's App account, and I'm gonna say yes, Robert, sign it, or no, veto it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna step on one side, and I'm gonna as a citizen, and I'm gonna do my voting on the People's App, but then I'm going to step over here and I'm going to go, all right, and the results say sign it. Okay, I'm going to sign this bill.
Giddy up.
Veto it. All right, I'm going to veto it, But
it seems like they're going to try to make some kind of rule to block you from doing something like that.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? But
here's the thing that I have in my favor. The way government works now is so slow.
Right.
So
literally, they're and see, that's part of the problem. Technology moves fast, but our government moves slow. Like right now, one of the things that God love them, they're going to make our strippers get certifications.
I saw that. I saw that.
Of all the crap.
One of the things that we need to be looking at is with technology. Why are we not requiring some sort of an ID to open an account on your social media platforms? Right now, the stuff that's going on right now, but that's the problem. They're not forward thinkers. Okay, it's like with marijuana. I keep telling people, look, let's quit looking back, okay? You're not going to take our pot away. Why don't we focus on moving forward? Why are we not coming to people like y'all and going, hey, let's beef up our labs? Right. And then let's go down and let's start lobbying in Texas to legalize it down there, and then let's export it and let's get your lab prepared because we're going to expand. We're going to start working in other states and other markets.
Funny you should say that because that was a rumor a while back, and I feel like it was a well-founded rumor, but maybe not. It could have been total bullshit. It would make sense, but a while back, a couple years ago, we were told that Stitt and Abbott were in communication about it because Governor Abbott in Texas wanted, not wanted, but was open to the idea of, cannabis being there, but did not want grows and processors. They didn't want the manufacturing. They just wanted the sales, right? So as a state that had plenty when we started, because we had no barrier of it, very low barrier entry, we had a bunch of extra. The plan was to work together and we would effectively grow and handle the processing manufacturing of cannabis and be allowed to export to Texas, which would have been brilliant.
Absolutely.
It would have been a brilliant idea.
So while we're on this topic, you guys know I want to expand the business end of cannabis. I got to ask y'all something because one thing that's been brought to my attention, I'm here to learn, okay?
Sure.
We're terrible teachers, just so you know.
FYI.
Why are we not, how would you guys feel about maybe expanding, even with the excess waste and stuff, maybe to use cannabis for paper products, for rope?
You're talking about industrial hemp.
There's so much more that we could be doing.
So there is a lot of people, I think like the majority of people, probably except for maybe the paper companies, I don't know, maybe even them, that would say that it's actually a better, hemp is better for fabric and paper, and it would actually be a better product easier to grow, easier to work with. I've heard that a lot. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that. And yeah, I think that would be phenomenal, right?
And one other
absolutely.
thing, I think we need to take some state funds and actually invest in real medical research.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that our local, our family doctors will be able to properly prescribe it.
Well, that's what the rescheduling of Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
That opens
actually,
that up.
I mean, in a massive way, in a way that's never been available before. So, if you can mentally fast forward 10 years, I mean, I think cannabis is going to look much, much different.
Well, if you can get a governor in Oklahoma that's willing to work with y'all and commercialize it and look forward, stop looking back, and actually has the balls to stand up to the House and Senate and say, look, this is what the people said through the People's app, and this is what we're going to do, or we're going to vote your asses out.
Right, right.
John will zoom in on me. If only we knew a guy. Yeah. So, all right. I've got a couple questions here.
Sure.
Can we do a quick get to know Robert Brooks?
Sure.
Can I ask you a few questions here? Okay. All right. What's your blood type? No, I'm kidding.
I don't even
This
know
this is more fun, right, than anything. So we know a little bit about your political. Now, if there's any other thing that you want to talk about on things that you're big on, I mean, we pretty much understand what
Man, I
you
could
are
talk
about
all
now.
day.
Yeah. Well, I think we share that attribute. But favorite movies and music.
Ooh.
You said you were a gig guy.
Urban Cowboy.
Come on.
And Christmas Vacation.
Okay, so love Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
That's always going to be at the top 5 of my Christmas movies. However, I've got an unpopular opinion for you.
What's that?
Vegas Vacation is the best vacation movie.
I think we have already talked about that.
Vegas Vacation movie is the best.
I think we've talked about that.
It's my opinion.
Well, and it's probably an age gap deal too, because you're probably
but
about
it's
10 years
Cousin
positive
Eddie.
of us. Your cousin Eddie's what makes the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Period.
Well, and he's in Christmas Vacation. Cousin
Yeah,
Eddie is.
he's got the
There's
most famous
some
lines in
people
all
in my
of them, I think.
family that would say I am the Cousin Eddie.
Yeah. So I probably
Shitter's full.
Yeah, shitter's full. I probably use a quote, and it's funny because nobody seems to remember it, but for some reason this is like core memory for me. But anytime I've ever been to a buffet or a cafeteria style, there is a scene in Vegas Vacation where they're at a buffet in one of the casinos. Oh my God, dude. And I'm not kidding you. Shane, I know you've heard me say this, but if we're at a setting, especially like cafeteria style, yeah, let me get a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the yellow there, and don't get chintzy on me now. And they just I can't remember what happens, but something he's like, well, that looks like chicken. Oh, sorry. And they just pull the signs out and swap them. There, better. And that's what happens when Chevy Chase goes through, and then Cousin Eddie goes in right behind. Let me get a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. And don't get cheap on me now. I love that shit, dude. That is the best, man. But what's his name in there? Papa Giorgio?
Yeah. Papa Giorgio.
Mr. Papa Giorgio. He's won 4 freaking cars. They drive home like a Lambo, a Hummer truck.
Dude.
All right, music. What kind of music do you sing and play?
Man, I do I'm a mood music guy.
Okay.
So it depends. I have a plethora of playlists. It depends on my mood, depends on what I'm doing.
Same.
I love music. I just love it. That's why I play it.
My favorite. I love to sing. I'm not the best singer, but I love to sing.
Oh, I am the best.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm the best singer. I'm the best singer ever.
Yeah.
And look, true story. I know my guitar coach is going to be watching this eventually. True story. He tells me every time I'm the best student in his class.
Come on. Are you the only student?
I'm the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
It's like my kids. They'll corner me like, "Who's your favorite?"
Yeah, but who's your favorite?
You're my favorite, whatever their name is what I'm like. You're my favorite. Your name on the planet.
That's what I used to do that all the time. I'd tell Skylar like, "You're my favorite, oldest baby,"
Right.
And I'd tell Smatty like,
Throw a
"You're
little-
my favorite." Now I just tell them both that they're my favorite and tell them not to tell their sibling.
Yeah. Keep it our
You're my
secret.
favorite. Oh, really?
I think I'm pretty sure my mom's done that. I've had a couple of them tell me, I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like she's playing a game with you.
feel like you got put together, brother. Okay, so you like country, rock, all of it.
Man, I do. I really can't think of anything I don't.
Can you give me your top 3 favorite artists of all time?
Top 3 favorite artists.
And if you can't say favorite, if you were on a deserted island,
definitely George Strait.
Okay. Well, he's the king of country music.
He's the king.
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Great.
Love
Uh,
the music.
Elvis or Prince.
Between those two,
Yeah.
so Elvis resonates more with me, but because my grandma was
Okay.
I grew up thinking that Elvis wasn't actually dead. So if that tells you anything,
Speaking of conspiracy theories.
Mike, we were there, Brandon. We went to Graceland, and I'm telling you right now, we saw Elvis walking out the back. Oh yes. Oh,
There was a
Oh,
person
yes.
walking.
We saw that casket. That was not Elvis, Brandon. I'm telling you right now, he is alive. Okay, all right.
He's a big boy there. But even that the last performance he had before he passed, was magical. I mean,
Where he sung the
Moody Blue.
Was it
Moody Blue.
the Righteous Brothers song?
well, he did "Sweet Caroline."
Oh yeah, he did.
Only rivers flow. Who originally sang that? To the sea. Is it Righteous
The
Brothers?
Unchained Melody.
Yeah, Unchained Melody.
I don't
Yes.
know.
I think it was
Yeah.
Righteous Brothers, maybe.
See, I'm a
There's so
Moody
many
Blue
people.
Anyways,
fan.
yeah,
Or Burning Love.
his version of
Lord
of
Almighty.
Unchained Melody,
Oh, it is.
Oh, he sweat
dude
the whole
could
performance.
belt.
Yeah.
Killed it.
But yeah, you could tell the weight and the drugs had caught up.
The amphetamines were.
He's the epitome of I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once I ever was, and that was that night, that performance. And he channeled it all.
Well, I mean, and you can dive deep into the whole drug thing. Back then, that they were told, hey, take these drugs and they'll fix you.
Right.
Most people. That's weird that you said Elvis or Prince, because most people say MJ or Prince. That's the two that get compared the most.
No, I mean, for me, I'm firm on
MJ.
George and MJ.
Okay.
But then when you move past that, I don't know, man. Maybe even Elvis.
So Elton is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Elton, and which is funny because like I love 70s and 80s rock and roll music, right? Love it. I have a playlist I call Power because it's just like power ballads, bro.
Right.
Like, oh God, well, of course I'm on the spot. I can't think of 5 songs.
What
in
about
it, but-
AC/DC?
Oh yeah.
In AC/DC? See,
Yeah, not
or
like
Aerosmith.
I would take Aerosmith over AC/DC
man.
personally, but I think AC/DC's
Hold on,
biggest
this is
hits.
Queen Stephanie calling. I got to take.
Is this your old lady?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
So I got to give props. Her name is Queen Stephanie.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a special ed teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, God
She
bless
was the special ed teacher for the whole district in Norman, Oklahoma last year.
Golly.
Godsend to me.
Yeah.
Godsend.
Well, you know she has the impatience of Job.
I was going to say.
Oh God! And you know what? And I'm not discrediting any girlfriend or wife before her, but it is what it is.
She's the one.
Hey,
Man,
I
she's
feel you.
amazing. Like, so this is a true story. I could flood you with stories about her all day, but here's a true story. I met her on Bumble.
Okay.
right? And we talked for like 4 months, right? Forever. And we decided, like, I don't know, it was like a random Sunday, right? We're gonna meet at Chili's, and I'm sitting there.
Oh, I love Chili's.
Oh yeah, she walks in, got this beautiful smile, and I'm like, even better than the picture. You know,
Right,
like,
right.
whoa,
Usually goes the other way.
Yeah.
Whoa! And we get to talking, and I'm eating chips.
Mm-hmm.
Chips and cake. And she's talking. And I go, wait, what did you just say you do for work? And she said, I'm a sped teacher in Norman. And I'm like, she'll understand me. I knew it. I knew it.
Yes.
She'll be able to put up
So I
with
was
my
like-
shit.
I said, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Definitely.
No, so I say that, and I really was being serious because my grandma worked at the elementary school that I was at forever. She was a building engineer, which do not say janitor, because she's like, excuse me, I have a Class C building engineer's license to work on boiler chillers. I'm not a janitor, thank you. I'm like, Yes, ma'am. Roger. Gotcha. Don't call you a janitor. Got it,
right.
Roger. The people that work for me are janitors. But yeah, but she worked at a school my entire life. Funny enough, she's a twin. Her sister also, she worked at Union Public Schools for 40 years. She retired from Union on her 40th year. Her twin sister, worked at the 8th grade center. She worked at Briar Glen Elementary until it shut down, and then she moved to Anderson. My other aunt, their other sister, was the same role. All three of them had the same role, but she worked at the 6th and 7th grade center. My grandma's sister worked the 8th grade center.
Oh, wow.
My whole life, I could not get away from a watching eye. I mean, my elementary school, my 6th and 7th grade, my 8th grade. Funny enough, my 9th grade year, when 9th grade was the last year I spent at Union, still couldn't get away because they had a principal that was at the 6th and 7th grade center that moved up to the 8th grade center, to 9th grade. So they knew my family. Our school resource officer was Tulsa County deputy. Her name's E.T. You know what? I don't care anymore. Her real name's Ernestine, and she doesn't like her name. Ooh. And now she can't do anything about it. I hope she doesn't ever see this, or she'll kill me. Yeah, she's about a 7 foot tall. Let me tell you, bud, if you want to talk about being intimidated by an officer or a deputy, I've never just there hasn't been a whole lot of cops that I've just seen and been like, oh shit, I don't want to mess with them. Because I just don't think cops like that usually, right?
Name Ernestine.
But I'm going to tell you right, well, you don't know her name. Everybody, it's E.T., E.T., E.T. Even on her car, it says E.T. Truwell. Back when they had names on the cards, it was E.T. Truwell, not Ernestine, not E.T. Truwell. Okay, that was her name. Let me tell you this. This woman was, no lie, probably 6'4", maybe 6'3", 6'4", black woman, beautiful, but Amazon was the way to describe. She was a very big woman. Now, of course, she was wearing body armor and shit, so she probably looked bigger than she was. But I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, you did not want to be on the shit end of her side. So I got into a fight at. The reason I left Union is because 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, every year. Every one of those years. The shortest amount of time I was suspended was 20 days. That's the shortest. I was a little punchy. I got into fights. Started almost none of them. There was one I did. I think I would say I started.
He's a little, just a little mouthy.
I'm a little mouthy. I'm a little mouthy. Yeah. But no, it was usually Union, the way I could describe it, probably not a good way for them to hear this, but it is what it is. Fix it, I guess. It's like prison. It's like segregated. Not forcibly, but clicky. You have groups, right? And it's always been like that in schools. Back when you were in school, back when my mom and my grandma was in school, it was the same way. But it was, you had the jocks and back in those days you called the greasers and whatever, right? But at Union, it was very much you had the skaters, and then you had the goths, and then you had the ROTC kids, and then you had football players who could be a big spread, right? They could be in a multiple, and then you had the band people and the orchestra people, and but then also you had Mexicans, one group, Native Americans, one group, black people, one group, and it was just very cliquey. I, as you can imagine, had several circles. I was a part of several circles. I was in ROTC. I played football. I was in band at one point or another. So I was in all those groups. Then I had a few, I was a little bit of thuggy-ish, so I thought, so I may have had quite a few brothers that were very close friends of mine, and so on and so forth. But for whatever reason, the Gothic crowd and the very Mexican cholo-ish crowd, for whatever reason, they did not like me. None of them, I don't think. None of them. They didn't like me at all. And so every year it was a fight with one or the other of those particular sets of people. And so that is why we left Union, because I was just suspended a whole lot. But one year
Where'd you
I got
go from Union?
Berry Hill. Never got in another fight in school.
Is that how y'all met?
That's where we met. Yep.
Okay.
The first day of school, first words I ever heard out of this guy's mouth, we're in a
current issues.
Yeah, current issues class, and just out of nowhere, he's like, "I think we should blow up the moon." First sentence I ever heard Brandon say.
I had a good reason.
Maybe we
Do
all.
y'all think we've ever actually walked on the moon?
Hey, don't even get me started.
Don't get me started,
on that, brother. So
Don't get me started.
I've been because I got my wife on it now, right? But
Short answer, no. No.
I've been sharing all the footage, because my favorite thing is the takeoff from the moon. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know there's a gravity difference, right, from here and the moon, but
there's a video of the takeoff.
Yeah, there's a video of them.
Well, how did they get it into the shuttle?
That's a great point. That's a great question.
Allegedly,
Now, I'm
there
gonna
was a
tell y'all
craft that
something.
landed there.
First, what we always find is all of this technology. The government and rich people always have the advanced version of it way before we do.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always heard my entire life the government is 10 years ahead of us in technology, always. And here's the thing. I don't necessarily hate that if the interest is because of like national security. Okay, whatever. Just make sure our shit's cool. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
No, but I just want to finish this story up really quick. But yeah, I got into a fight, 8th grade center, and 9th grade. And it ended up in the hallway. And E.T., I don't know where she came from, but she was one of our school resource officers. We had several at Union. There was I want to say 1,200 kids in my graduating class there. It was a lot. Big school. 900, something like that. It was a lot. And E.T. out of nowhere grabs me, and before I realize and she loves me. I've known her for a long time. I love E.T. Before I know what the hell has happened, 1 minute, I was fighting a guy, and I was on top, might I add. The very next minute, I was in handcuffs and completely isolated. And I, for the life of me, don't know how it happened or how fast it happened. But that woman, by herself, drug my big ass off of that kid and had me in some kind of compliant escort position in handcuffs before I even knew what the hell happened. And to this day, I think still, I'm very... I think she finally retired, but I'm very cautious of E.T. I said, that's a bad woman, bro. Maybe that's why. Maybe that was what started my affinity for alpha women.
It might be.
That's it.
The way she
That's
handled
where
it.
it
I like
started.
alpha chicks, dude, until I get a hold of one. I got one now. I love them just until I,
started.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alphas. God dang it, dude. They get you every time.
But no.
Interesting.
Back on the moon.
Back on the moon.
Oh yeah. Moon.
Sorry.
No, they shared I seen this the other day. They have a picture of a footprint. The first steps on the moon, and then because this one went viral, but then it showed the actual boot that was
got a
worn.
K-Swiss logo in the middle.
Well, the tread that's on the footprint,
Totally different.
and then the boot is just smooth. It's like oof.
For me, I'm just thinking. I'm like, hey. Why are we so damn insistent on landing on Mars
Right.
and living on Mars when we know
wild.
we can land on the moon?
Right.
Right.
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
I think it's an energy thing.
I think it's, well, at the time, what was it, 69 when we allegedly went to the moon the first time? I believe it was 1969.
Around there, yeah.
Somewhere in that
We're going to
ballpark.
pretend it was.
Yeah. Well, let's pretend it was, right? I could understand it. We were a part of something called the space race, right? Who was going to get there first? Was it going to be the USSR or was it going to be
Did it
us?
really exist, or was it just a way to funnel money?
Right. No, this could get real deep here.
Were we really in it together? Like, was there really a Cold War, or did the United States and Russia develop this nuclear energy together
Right.
that they wanted to keep from the other countries, and they created this fake battle between each other? Because now we're finding out there's all these miniature nuclear reactors that they want to put with these data centers, and
Right.
we're like, wait, where did all that come from? Y'all never told us about any of that.
Well, just to stay, briefly on the path, Nikola Tesla is a guy that was said to have, figured out the energy crisis. How to give
They
everybody.
offed him, brother.
Well, who was the benefactor of all of his property after he did?
No,
die?
don't say it, bro.
It was Donald Trump's great uncle. It was a Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dead ass. It was.
They've talked about some. I've heard something about this.
But one thing I seen, because he did address this at the State of the Union last night. Data centers, because all over Oklahoma, they're bringing a lot to our state. everybody has been really, really concerned about what that's gonna, what kind of cost that's gonna pass along to the average person.
Why are people so against data centers?
Well, because it's gonna take a ton off the
Energy.
power grid. It's energy.
That's the question I'm asking. Well, the first problem I have with data centers is the problem I have with government in general. There's no transparency.
Sure.
For me, anything that involves government should not contain an NDA.
Right.
Government.
Oh, I
now
agree.
hold on. I'm going to say national security.
Sure.
Okay?
100%.
But I have a problem with foreign countries
Massive problem.
putting in data centers here that are going to take up our natural resources to make them profits.
Don't like
And
that.
they're going to. So this is what I see.
So are these data centers all foreign owned
Well,
or foreign backed?
Well, they're
Or
like,
allegedly?
you got to follow the
Is
money.
it
and
alleged? Yeah.
They make
Okay.
it so hard. Whenever you follow the land purchase and the money and.
Well, you look at any AI that's popular right now, they need these data centers. So think about who made those, the individual AIs like Google, Elon's companies.
I can tell you this: if I was a country that hated the Western civilization or hated the U.S. and I realized that I couldn't just straight up beat them in a war, because let's be honest,
we're in a good spot.
that we're chilling, we're doing we're all right on that front, right? But if I were a foreign country that wanted to take down America, I don't know, maybe want to turn the people against themselves first.
Absolutely.
To help cut down, people reproducing, patriotism. Don't want none of that shit.
No, we've seen it. It's a proven thing
yeah,
that there's other
absolutely.
countries that have full-time companies that their job is to put hateful
But
posts out.
also, it would be really good to have, I don't know, some sort of control over a place that, let's say, was responsible for, data and the internet communication, because all communication, analog, I don't know if this is what you call it, this is the way my brain says it, but analog communication or old school communication is all going away. It's all going to be internet web based some way or another, right? It's all going to work through a satellite, blah blah blah, not power line. That's gone, right? That's effectively gone.
That was Trump's whole thing with TikTok. He said, "Hey, we don't mind you having it, but we want to control it."
Yeah.
And so I'm looking back going, why are we allowing China and these other foreign countries to own data centers? For me, we need to own it. We need
Sure.
to,
No, I agree.
we need, and we also need to know what's going on. But more importantly, guys, for the taxpayer, I'm looking at it from the governor's perspective.
Right.
I don't want the people of Oklahoma paying to upgrade the infrastructure so some corporation from some foreign country can come in and capitalize from it and make profits.
I'm curious, how wouldn't they pay for it? Why would we pay for it?
That's what Donald
That's
Trump
what
said
I'm
last
confused
night.
with.
Well, supply and demand. The more energy you use, the higher the demand for it, the more we're going to pay. We are already paying for upgrades to electrical substations. We shouldn't be. And the thing that I look at with these data centers, there's not a lot of jobs there.
Yeah.
People see big building and they're accustomed to maybe your distribution centers or your and they think, oh, there's 400 or 500 jobs. No, there's like 20 or 30.
Really?
Like the one
Oh,
the one at
wow.
Atoka, which was a small data mining center.
Okay.
There's only 2 contractors there.
Oh shit.
So for me, you're having to upgrade. So whenever you start
to
using
know.
more energy, we're going to be paying for it.
Well, and so
We're going to be paying more for the natural gas and
the alleged. So this is what Donald Trump alleged in his speech last night on data centers specifically, and he said that he just put this into motion, within the last 24 hours that. You can put the data centers in, you can use all the energy, but you absolutely have to pay for it and whatever the repercussions are from it. And he did say that for the taxpayer, energy costs are going to go down significantly because of this. So, you're right. You take that how you want to, but what they're alleging is because, which at the end of the day, if let's say, these are foreign backed or financed, and they're making, bukus of money, why wouldn't it be smart to make sure the people in that town or that area surrounding you maybe didn't even have an electric bill if you're making all these?
And so that's what Governor Brooks proposes. Hey, if you're going to be coming over here and you're going to be doing this, we're going to make a plan for us to benefit,
right?
Meaning the taxpayers. Okay?
I mean, that would be the common sense approach.
Absolutely. So that's where instead of giving them tax breaks and giving them tax incentives, we go, you got look, if you want us to pay for the electrical grid to get upgraded, we're going to pay for it, the taxpayers.
Right.
But you're going to sign a note saying you're going to reimburse us plus interest.
Yeah.
But folks, this is something else. This is the forward thinker in me. Okay. Remember, throughout history, are you familiar with Pitcher, Oklahoma?
No.
Okay, Pitcher.
I know.
It's
a
super fun site, and there's also a site. Well, there's a place. There's questionable activity at these mines.
I like questionable.
But even with oil wells, right now we have abandoned oil wells that we allowed all these companies to come in and drill all these wells, and now they're abandoned and they're causing problems with our water table. We need to be thinking ahead with data centers. We need to create a fund that basically they put into to where if that company goes defunct, there's a fund there to pay for the cleanup.
Absolutely.
When they leave. Because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to have this company, technology is going to become advanced, and it's going to go from this great big data center to this little bitty microchip, and they're going to go, well, we're going to bankrupt this company, and we're going to leave the city of Claremore holding the cleanup bag, and we're going to reform as another corporation over here. And the people of Oklahoma are going to be left with all this hazardous waste.
Right,
so I want to say this real quick because I didn't know this. And so I just want to, real quick about Pitcher. Pitcher, Oklahoma is a former city in Ottawa County, now a ghost town, once a major center for lead and zinc mining in the Tri-State Mining District. Its history is defined by boom and bust cycles, environmental contamination from mining, and the eventual dissolution of its government in 2009 with residents relocating due to hazardous conditions. So the quick history is mining boom. So it developed around a lead and zinc strike in 1913, becoming the most productive field in the district, producing over $20 billion in ore between 1917 and 1947. Grew to over 14,000 in the 20s before declining significantly and very rapidly. But now the area suffered from severe contamination and the creation of dangerous sinkholes from the abandoned mine shafts. So this is effectively a ghost town now that would take a lot of work to make it livable.
So
again.
if you follow my campaign, there's an area that I am questioning right now in the Catoosa area. There's 17,000 acres where there were mines, and we can't find the reclamation certificate for any of it. It don't exist. And so, and that's something that I've taken to the city of Tulsa. I got kicked out of a meeting there for questioning it. And they're trying to develop this area, and all I'm trying to do is say, look,
are we sure it's safe?
Are we sure it's safe? Yeah. Yes.
If it's safe, cool. Giddy up. Let's go.
But
let's just make sure.
I have had a landowner bring me a water sample, water test, and he claims it's from the water he took on his land that has lead and arsenic in it, and so. I'm just trying to think forward and go and look at our lawmakers and go, look, because instead of putting money in your campaign coffers, instead of, thinking about, oh man, think about the people, think about our future. We need to create this fund for a cleanup fund. We need to learn from our mistakes that we made with Pitcher and with oil and gas industry. And we need to do the same with, I'm not saying keep the data centers out. I'm saying, the taxpayers are not going to pay for it. If we do, I'm okay with us upgrading our infrastructure.
Absolutely.
But you're going to sign a note, and we are going to become the bank, and you're going to pay interest on this loan that we're giving you in order to so these companies are going to make profits.
Absolutely.
Why is the taxpayer always left holding the bag?
No, there's a way for everybody to win
Absolutely.
on this.
Can I ask a question?
And it's like you said, eventually we could be getting our energy for free. If all of these other countries are going to be building and they're going to be benefiting, they're going to be storing their data here, then they need to be paying for our electric.
Absolutely.
We need to start, the people of Oklahoma, it's like, why are we paying so much more for pork, for eggs, for all the products that come from Oklahoma? Because when you look at Smithfield Farms, Google this. Smithfield Farms, look at who owns them. And then look at a bill that the people up at the Capitol put a nice little carve out to allow them to continue operating in Oklahoma.
The WH Group? Shuanghai International Holdings? Who is Smithfield?
The Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, shit. They're no good.
They also have a PAC, and they have lobbyists. And they put money in politicians' pockets.
Right. To keep them.
Who is Smithfield Farms? Are they big?
They're pork. They're out in western Oklahoma, and it's out there where it's away from everybody. Nobody questions it.
Well, and that's what
But I hear there's this guy running for governor. He's been investigating our politicians. He's found. Look, that's just one company.
So we've got you here for about 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Robert, tell. If there's anything you want to put out there.
I just blew his mind with
Yeah,
that.
we're coming back to this.
In this friendship, I'm the conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
There's been a few things that I'm gonna have to take deep dives into because I had no idea. But this has been fun. But please lay out what you're going to do once you win this race.
Well, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue working with the people. Now, the first year in office, I'm going to be a little busy getting the People's app rolling. And, I'm going to give every director up there. I've made this very clear. Every director, I'm not one of those. I don't want to go in and just fire some people.
Right.
I want to give them all a shot, but they're going to get on camera just like we are right now, and they're going to answer to the people, or they're going to clean their damn desk out.
Right.
I believe we're going to start having true transparency in our government, and we're going to restore the government back to the people. And this is folks, you need to understand something. This is something the entire world is going to be watching. Think about this. We will be the first place in history that actually has an elected official in charge that has immediate, real-time responses from the people that he serves.
No, that's huge.
It's revolutionary. That's why I want to be the guy that not only has the idea, I want to be the guy that gets elected on that platform and does it. And then whenever I die, I want everybody to go, man, he didn't die a millionaire. He only wanted this $140,000. Like, he didn't. Why? Because I don't thirst for money and I don't thirst for power. I want to be a true servant. I'm an empath, and you'll read about all that, how that happened in my book.
Dude,
I just love people.
What? One more time. What's the title of your book, and where do we find it?
It's the Farmer Servant Manifesto. You can find it on Amazon, or you can track me down, and I'll sell you a copy for $20.
Heck yeah! And how do we find you and follow your campaign?
So you can call me. I'm the governor that's going to give everybody my phone number.
I saw you, on your Facebook. I seen you post
everywhere.
Great. I'm not special.
I want 918-471-0490. I'm also on Facebook. You have to look it up. It's Robert E. Brooks, and then there's a little dash. Farmer Servant for Governor. I think you can actually just search Farmer Servant for Governor and it'll find it. I'm on TikTok. I'm looking for volunteers. I need money. I need volunteers. But that's what grassroots is all about. You know, I need gigs to play. I need people. I need events. I need everything. You know,
if somebody wanted to invest or donate to your campaign right now, how would they do that?
just give me a call 918-471-0490.
Hell yeah,
471-0490.
Can't beat that. And then what's your website again?
It's www.votewethepeople.com.
That's a good one, dude.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
you've got your Facebook, you've got Instagram, I'm sure, or you said TikTok, Bumble.
Not anymore.
No, we
Grindr.
deleted that. We deleted all that. We deleted all of it.
Well, anything else you want to leave the Berniacs out there with?
The burnouts.
Look, here's the deal. This is a time in history. It really is a turning point.
100%.
We're at a boiling point where there's so much hate and so much violence associated with politics. Let's forget about all the noise and let's realize it truly is us versus them. And I don't even like saying versus them. It's us. We have allowed them to run amok. Now we have to rein them back in. And this is how we're going to do it.
I love it.
Okay, so usually we end with a little bit of like cannabis trivia, but because you're here, we're just going to finish it up with a little bit of Oklahoma history.
Oh Lord,
and trivia. Okay.
Oh Lord,
I'm going to make him look bad right before
you
we're done.
are.
No, they're going to be. They're going to be ones that
answer.
aren't. I like to do it like not ones that are easy to answer, but ones that are like,
Ask me who our
that's
governor
cool.
is. I
Yeah.
can tell you.
All right. What is these are not things that most people would know. So I like to do it because it's just, you learn. It's cool, right? What is the highest point in Oklahoma?
What or where?
What?
It's not
What's it
Mount
called?
Scott. Is it Kavanaugh Hill? Kavanaugh Hill's the highest.
What's your
The
guess?
highest hill. Or,
Gloss Mountain.
So I'm just saying this. I feel like I knew this from school, but I maybe not because I just read it. But the Black Mesa.
oh,
Yeah, I could have probably got
man.
that.
Yeah,
I probably
you're
coulda got
talking.
you.
I should have known that because I'm a pilot.
Well, you should know, but tell you what, one strike against. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
What festival is the city of Muskogee famous for?
Oh,
The Renaissance Fair.
That's what I would think too.
No?
I didn't say no. I'm just saying that would have been my answer.
Okay.
That's my guess.
The Azalea Festival?
I don't know what that is.
I know what the azalea is. I couldn't
Azalea?
tell you what it looks like, but I know it's a flower, I
I know
think.
Iggy Azalea.
Azalea.
She raps, I think.
Oh, Black Mesa's in Cimarron, by the way. Okay, and this is a good one. What is the? We all know like what the flower of Oklahoma and the bird and all that. That's easy, right? What is the Oklahoma state fish?
Carp.
My goodness. Is it?
I'll tell you this: it's not a fish that any three of us ever go. I'm gonna go catch. Maybe part of it. Part of it is
a perch.
but it's a specific kind of certain fish.
Is it a perch?
Is that a spoonbill?
You going to guess
Now,
perch?
Luke, I love those.
That should be.
I'm
I
gonna
would think
guess
that would
wild.
be, right?
It would be cool.
All right, so your guess is perch.
Yeah.
All right, what's yours?
Well,
Spoonbill?
no, we know that's not it. So,
I didn't say that. Did I
let's go
say that?
smallmouth bass.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give it to Shane
I would have said
because bass is in it, but
Oh, man.
white bass. I've never even heard of a white
Yeah, I
bass.
wouldn't have- I
First of all, it
wouldn't-
sounds racist as hell.
My first one would have been largemouth bass.
That's what I would think.
I would-
I would have
that's
said largemouth bass, not even smallmouth. That blew my mind when you said smallmouth.
No,
I would have.
I
You're trying to be different? Yeah.
Scissor-tail is the bird.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I
Scissor-tail,
got that right.
Indian paint. Indian
man. See,
paintbrush is the
I gotta
flower.
redeem
wouldn't have got
myself
the
with
flower.
the people.
You know what the state color is?
Blue?
Is it blue?
Light
Green.
blue? Is it?
Really?
And I know because nothing. I
Man,
feel like
we're gonna
nothing.
change. We're gonna paint
We've
it
had to
purple.
change some
We're gonna
shit.
change it to purple.
Oh, shit.
We finna change some
Look,
shit in
now,
Oklahoma,
I
baby.
do- look, now let me tell y'all, everybody watching, tell the folks down in Texas, It's gonna be Lake Oklahoma.
Yeah, come on,
It ain't
baby.
gonna be Texas no more. It's gonna be Lake
No, but
Oklahoma.
You know what I would really like to see, and then we'll end on this. I was tried to say this earlier, but you guys kept over talking me. No, it's something that I think would be. I think it would be cool, and I'm just thinking, cutting edge, be Oklahoma. You know, oil and gas is great. I know people hate it, or not really, but there are people that would try to say that it's horrible and it's ruining the country, world, blah 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 blah. And I don't think it should necessarily ever go anywhere, but it blows my mind that nuclear energy is not something that we are investing time into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is the cleanest energy
Be looking for it.
and the most efficient energy. Like,
Be
you started
looking
talking
for
about
it.
it earlier, and
Absolutely.
it blows my mind, but I just seen a post on Facebook about our they said so apparently our armed forces, our Air Force or whatever, moved did you see this? It was a big post, like a mini nuclear reactor for base over there, I guess, because, I don't listen, boys. I know you're watching. If we know anything about Donald Trump, it is, please, for the love of Christ and all that is holy in your area, do not try to call this man's bluff, because he doesn't do a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
If he says it, good or bad, there's a higher chance of it happening than not. The only thing that I know of to date that he hasn't made good on is making Mexico pay for the border wall. And if I know the dude, it's probably still on his mind.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He don't forget.
You know what I mean? Like, he's taking, like Santa, bro. He's making a list and checking it twice. No, but yeah, I think that some shit's gonna happen over there.
Let me tell you.
The nuclear energy thing.
We have enough resources here, and he hit on this.
Yeah.
Why are us Okies paying so damn much for everything? We have enough resources and farmland, and we should be living very comfortable.
Agreed.
Telling you.
Agreed.
We gonna fix it.
Make it happen.
We gonna fix it.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming. This has been a really good one. This has been a good one.
Hey, don't forget about us. When you get
Yeah,
down there, and
because we're gonna need some favors.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Man,
and listen,
I need help.
I'm the guy that I'm absolutely the guy. Like, hey man, remember I brought you on the podcast.
right.
I got this charge. I need it to go away. No, I got this speeding ticket.
We'll put it on the People's app.
No.
We'll put it
dude.
on the People's
Listen,
app.
hey, man.
I just want to channel that little bit of corruption that may be in there. But listen, can you help me out with it?
That would be a way, bro. Yeah, but
Make a law that my wife has to give it up more than 3 times
you
this
need
week.
to
No,
know.
just kidding.
Put it on the app. Yeah.
Put it on the app, brother.
Hey, but Robert, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
coming.
No,
Yeah.
thank y'all.
It's
I
been good.
appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
I'm Brandon Fountain,
I'm Shane Davis.
and we are the
Control
Control Burn,
Burn.
and we'll see you next week.
Peace.